In the 9 years that I've been in the legislature, I'm convinced that the stock scandal is the one issue that has demolished the image of the legislature. The people of this state have already tried and convicted every member of the legislature. It's not enough for us to take action. We must take firm, decisive action. The people of this state are convinced that Tom Bass and just about every other elected official in this Capitol building is guilty of financial double-dealing.
Come here, Angel, come here. Come here. What?
Okay.
With the failure of the three issues, one Tarrant County Commissioner is looking hard today at this parking lot located on the north side of the Criminal Courts building and owned by the county. It's currently being used to park county cars. Commissioner Jerry Mebus told me today he is exploring the possibility of using revenue bonds to build a multi-story parking lot here and using the money to make necessary renovations on the county complex buildings. Mebus said he is also exploring other ideas to eliminate what he called the major problem, that being space in the buildings.
Our real big need right now is space, and in order to compensate for that, I would propose that we insist on legislature that might bring about microfilming of certain records. By this means, we could transpose the original document to a warehouse and keep those under lock and key, and still we would have our record right here in the courthouse on microfilm.
Commissioner Mebus also said he felt the vetoed sub-courthouses could be built at a later date with county funds. Well, nothing is definite yet. It's all still in the exploratory stage. But in Mebus' words, something has to be done, and I'm open to suggestions. Cherry Park, Channel 8 News on the Move, Fort Worth.
Six and a half years ago, Mary Freeman wasn't able to play in her backyard. She wasn't able to walk to school. In fact, her life was in danger. Today, thanks to a successful kidney transplant and the help of her twin sister, Nancy, Mary can do just about anything she wants. The operation saved her life. It was the first kidney transplant by a team of surgeons at Parkland Hospital, and in November of 1964, 5 days after the transplant, Mary and Nancy were congratulated for their courage and success by Channel 8's then Mr. Peppermint. Nancy and Mary are now juniors at Western Hills High School in West Fort Worth. Most of their classmates don't realize the role in medical history that the Freeman twins have played. That's because the operation was such a complete success. At their home, Mary and Nancy told of how the transplant has affected their lives.
It's changed a lot. I can do a lot of things I couldn't before the surgery, like I can walk to school. Before, I was always tired, and I'm more active. I can do a lot of other things, more sports and everything.
Nancy, has life changed for you any since the transplant?
Oh, not a whole lot, except that for the most part I have to keep my weight down for doctor's orders and reasons because of one kidney only, and that has a lot to do with it.
Mary, how do you feel about your sister giving up one of her kidneys?
I'm glad she did. I don't remember, really what they asked her or what they asked me. But they asked her if she would give up her kidney, give it to her sister, and I really can't remember what they asked me.
How do you answer people who are curious about your transplant operation?
Well, the thing that usually comes up is when I wear a sleeveless dress at school, they ask me what skin graft was, and then that leads into the transplant. And for the transplant, I tell them that my sister gave me her kidney so that I could live. And they ask, "You mean you have one kidney?" I say, "No, I have three." And they say, "How do you have three?" And I tell them, "Well, I have my two original ones that I was born with, but that I had to get Nancy's so hers would help my other two function."
Nancy, are you proud that you were able to save your sister's life?
Yes, I am now. At first I didn't realize really what I was doing or what was going to become of me or her. I knew that I was giving her my kidney and that if I didn't, that she wouldn't live, and so that does make me proud.
Mary and Nancy are already making plans for college. About their lives, Nancy says she is proud she could help her sister. Mary says she is very thankful. Jim Green, Channel 8 News on the Move, Fort Worth.
awakened about 2 o'clock by the noises on the intercom, which we had set up for burglar alarm. And while I was dressing quickly, my wife called the police, and I came down to meet the police and saw part of a man's leg in there in the gloom, and finally identified it as being a man's leg, and was just stepping back to call on him to surrender when he fired a shot through the window at me. And I started to return the fire, and he shot one more time, and at his second shot the flame started. Apparently he shot through a can of rifle powder that was sitting on the shelf right by the window, and the muzzle blast or a flash from his pistol set off the powder. And about this time, man came tumbling out through the glass window, and he was smoldering and on fire, and he thrashed around a while.
The air must be cleared once and for all. The publicity surrounding the current SEC activities must be fully explored. I want the members of this House and the people of Texas to know the facts.
So we're not here to condemn or to promote abortion. We're here to face a reality and to decide on the best legislative solution to this reality of criminal abortion. Furthermore, there is urgency about this legislation that many people do not recognize. Last spring, the Federal District Court in Dallas declared the Texas anti-abortion laws to be unconstitutional. The court held that the present laws deprive single women and married persons of the opportunity to choose whether to have children. If this decision is sustained by the United States Supreme Court, abortion will be totally unregulated in the state of Texas.
These smoky ruins are the remains of the Jess Stockstill shooter supply of Grapevine. The loss is high from last night's tragic drama. One man perished in these flames, and others in John Peter Smith Hospital in Fort Worth under heavy police security. He's suffering from severe burns and gunshot wounds. Doctors say he may lose one of his arms. A third man was transferred from Grapevine City Jail to Tarrant County Jail earlier this morning. Grapevine Police Sergeant Gerald Walker, who made the transfer, arrested the man leaving the scene of the fiery shootout shortly after 2 a.m. Jess Stockstill, owner of the gun shop, relives the incident. Jess Stockstill is not likely to forget this night. Not anytime soon, perhaps not for the rest of his life. The final tally in total on the tote sheet: 1 dead, 1 injured, 1 man in jail, and a gun shop owner who lost $175,000 worth of guns and ammunition. The only insurance was on the building, none on the contents. But Jess says he will rebuild. Rebuild he will. Art Sinclair, Channel 8 News on the Move, Grapevine.
Supporters of House Speaker Gus Mutscher were well in control of the House of Representatives today as they created a general investigating committee and also authorized a panel of state agencies and private associations to compile facts relating to the Securities and Exchange Commission stock fraud case.
Speaker Mutscher took much of the expected sting out of the debate today by declaring himself in favor of a complete investigation of the matter. However, in the debate that followed, many of those who are not supporters of the speakers indicated that they felt that a less than thorough investigation is what we will get.
Yes, to know the facts, not rumors, not innuendos, not distortions.
Several members told me that members of the Speaker's staff and even outside lobbyists worked hard all day trying to keep support for the Speaker. And the critics of Speaker Mutscher gained no more than 1/4 of the votes on any particular vote, as they tried numerous times to put in amendments which would put more teeth into the investigation or to impose deadlines on the probe. Of the 23 Dallas and Fort Worth area representatives, only Dick Reed, Zan Holmes, and Republican Fred Agnich voted consistently for the stronger amendments. Jim Stroud voted with those three on occasion. Speaker Mutscher announced, incidentally, that the members of the investigating committee will be appointed before the Easter recess, which is just about 10 days away. This is Rosser McDonald, Channel 8 News on the Move in Austin.